You know, I come down here pretty much every single day, and you know, it's really, really clean. It's really, you know, great to be able to see people in and around.
Is Portland turning the corner now? That's the question so many people have asked and debated over the past few years. From kitchen tables to the office to the campaign trail as the city gets ready to transition to a new form of government. Tonight in our City in Crisis Finding Solutions report, proof of progress. Thanks for joining us for K2 News at 6, everybody. I'm Steve Dunn.
I'm Deborah Knapp. Portland still has problems, livability issues that are impossible to ignore. But as K2's Angelica Thornton shows us, some of the biggest investors in the city say there's no doubt Stumptown is now on the upswing.
We're going to drink some strawberry mojito.
It is a good morning for Christine Walter. She's tired but happy to be celebrating. Just hours before we stopped by her tap room in Southeast Portland, Bauman Cider Company was awarded 2 more medals.
It's the first time in the history of the competition that a cider scored a perfect 50 on the judging.
The fact that Bauman's is here is a big win for the city of Portland. 6 months ago, the craft cidery moved its headquarters and production from Christine's family's farm in Marion County to the old Ecliptic brewing space in the Buckman neighborhood. A decision Christine says some of the other Baumans down on the farm weren't too thrilled about.
Well, I mean, I think they assumed I'd be murdered when I got here.
That was January, and Christine says things were a little rough outside.
When we got here, there were every day people sleeping on the back patio and, you know, a lot of garbage and everything like that.
But she tells K2 the city and the Central East Side Industrial Council circled the wagons and fixed it. The sidewalks are now clear, and her cidery and the tap room and restaurant, Bauman's on Oak, are now thriving.
This was so great for the company to be able to come in, have meetings together.
Scott Roth is also settling into a new Portland space. He's the CEO of LegitScript, a software company that moved its headquarters from Slabtown to downtown in April. Roth says they considered places like Beaverton and Lake Oswego, but ultimately Portland's downtown core was the right vibe.
People really wanted a engaging, energetic place, both in the office, but also in the surroundings as well. And so we really felt like we kind of checked all the boxes being here at Big Pink, and it's just been fantastic so far.
They're now leasing the entire 27th floor of the Big Pink. His employees get Friday afternoons off in the summer, so the seats were empty when we visited. But Roth says half of the company's 250 global workers are based here, and he's proud of that.
I believe that, you know, in order for Portland to kind of regain its position as a premier West Coast city, we need people coming to downtown for work. We need people coming to downtown for, you know, pleasure and hospitality. We need people traveling in, and so that was something that was compelling to me, that I really wanted to be, you know, part of that solution as well.
That's exactly what Shea Flaherty-Bettine loves to hear.
We see important employers, important businesses recommitting to downtown, really for the first time since the pandemic, in new ways.
Flaherty-Bettine is the Economic Development Director for Prosper Portland, the economic and urban development agency for the city. He says Portland is turning the corner, and the proof is in the pudding.
We put together a core business retention team, an initiative with our business advancement team at Prosper Portland and Mayor Wheeler and Commissioner Rubio. Since then, we've done outreach visits, we've connected with employers, we've taken elected officials to the businesses, and we've done that with over 230 businesses in the city.
Another feather in Portland's cap, Daimler Truck North America announced last month it's expanding its electric truck manufacturing operations on Swan Island with a new $40 million engineering facility and a $3 million training center.
That puts us on the map for electric vehicles and puts us on the map for sustainability. So all of these things for us show that Portland's turning the corner. We're coming back in a really big way.
But even the city's biggest cheerleaders admit Portland still has a long way to go. There are commercial vacancies all across the city and livability issues, crime, homelessness, and high taxes. And then there's the perception problem. Portland's reputation needs major work, and the people trying to fix it say we're our own worst enemy right now.
If folks in the suburbs, if folks in our surrounding areas don't come down and see the change for themselves, we're going to continue to hear those terrible narratives about our city, which we know are just not true.
Andrew Fitzpatrick is Mayor Ted Wheeler's Director of Economic Development.
The improvements on the street cannot be denied. We are making those and we're seeing great progress there, but we're also trying to improve the reputation on that side as well. So it's not an either or, just trying to market the city better. It's also trying to fix the real problems on the street by improving police response and cleaning up graffiti and getting people connected to services so that they can stay off the street and get the help that they need.
Fitzpatrick tells us the city is now working to offer new economic incentives to small businesses who've had a challenging few years, especially downtown. But foot traffic is up at places like the Midtown Beer Garden, which replaced Portland's oldest food cart pod that was plagued with problems. Expensify, a financial company headquartered across the street, partnered with Chef's Table, a Portland restaurant group, to open and run it. The manager tells Katu it's exceeded expectations, with crowds of people now coming back, refusing to give up on the Rose City.
This feels good. This feels like Portland energy.
Back at Bauman's Cider, Christine Walter says she still can't wrap her head around how great things are going.
Initially, I thought, oh, we'll find a temporary place as a solution while we grow the new facility at the farm. But now we love it here, and I can't imagine ever not being here, and I can't imagine getting those tanks out of here now that they're stood up, because those are huge tanks.
Christine tells us she's even winning over some of the cynics back home on the farm.
There are certainly still some of them who are like, oh, I'm not going to the city, but for the most part, they're coming up and they're enjoying it, and they are just like blown away by it.
In Portland, Angelica Thornton, K2 News.
Well, do you have a story to tell about our city in crisis? Send Angelica an email at cityincrisis@katu.com or leave a voicemail at this number, 503-231-4206.